So, officially, Anime Vanguards has just added yet again another change for our favorite thing in the game, which is Monarch. They finally reduced the pity of Monarch from 2,500 down to a special new number. And I think this is pretty important because recently Anime Vanguards has been kind of struggling with the numbers that they're pulling. And with this change, I kind of feel like this might do something. So, let's get started. Again, our goal is to eventually reach 100k subscribers, so don't forget to like and subscribe right now to be part of the OG subscribers of AB Plays. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we all know that Anime Vanguard's main thing is obviously rolling for the Monarchs and all that other stuff. Rolling for the Monarchs is like one of the biggest thing in this game. And yeah, they had the original pity leaked a while ago from not having any pity. We realized that there's actually a pity of 2,500, and now there's a new official pity of 1,500, which is an insane drop from 2,500. They now revealed the pity for everything. So, you now need 1,500 3 rolls on a unit to get Monarch. This is guaranteed Monarch. Any 1,500 rerolls you spend on a single Monarch consistently, okay? On a single unit consistently will get you a Monarch. By the way, if you evolve a unit, it will reset the pity. So you have to either evolve a unit before rerolling or reroll 1,500 before evolving to not get that pity to reset. So that is very, very good. It's overpowered, and I think we are now going to be able to get rerolls significantly, get these traits significantly easier because 1,500 is honestly pretty easy to get. So I think if you just play the game consistently for about a few weeks, I think you could get a guaranteed Monarch in about a month or so. And the way that units in Anime Vanguards work, even if you invest your traits on an old unit and it takes you a month to get Monarch on it, that unit is still going to be powerful in the current update. Let's say you invested Monarch on Goku back in Update 5 and you got a Monarch on it in Update 7, it's still pretty good in Update 7. And if you invested a Monarch on, say, Zeke in Update 7, it's still going to be a good unit in Update 8 or 9. So this is very, very good. It's a very great change, and this is super nice. And I think this change is very, very positive for Anime Vanguards, especially because, Anime Vanguards right now is the only game where the Monarch trait is kind of really, really hard to get. In All-Star Tower Defense X, it's 0.5, which is half the rate for Monarch. Monarch is 0.1, in ASTDX it's 0.2, and in ALS, obviously, it's super easy to get the traits because they give it away like candy. So Monarch right now, or Anime Vanguards, is the only game where it's pretty hard to actually obtain the 0.1 trait. And now they're kind of helping us get these, Monarch traits significantly easier. And I think this is because they finally realized that the other games are, stealing their players. People like to get that special trait, even though Anime Vanguard is not Monarch reliant. People like to get that special trait, and people like to be able to use that special trait in order to make their unit significantly more powerful. They really, really like that. Players love that from Anime Last Stand. Players like that in all these other tower defense games, even in Anime Adventures when it was still alive. People like that as well in All-Star Tower Defense X. And honestly, in All-Star Tower Defense X, it's easier to get the trait, and also in All-Star Tower Defense X, it's not as effective because there's a skill tree and most units are for placement. All-Star is not as effective in All-Star Tower Defense X compared to Monarch in Anime Vanguard, which is why it's not as big as an issue there. And I think Anime Vanguards finally realized all these things and decided to add this very positive change that, in my opinion, will definitely affect the change in player count, or will definitely affect your player count moving forward. I do expect to see more positive changes and more positive updates that are, things that they probably said they were never going to add to eventually get added. They did say that pity is never going to get reduced before, and they're reducing it now because of this recent realization. I think there's a very high chance that a lot of the things we've requested before will actually get added in Anime Vanguards now, because they're starting to realize that if they don't add these things that people are requesting, their game might not last for, that much longer. But I think Anime Vanguards is still the best game out there. And yeah, that's gonna be it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Don't forget to like and sub, and happy Monarch hunting.